and tight blue jeans. He smiled, kissed me, and I think it must have made Marilyn pissed off as she sat in the next room and watched. To her credit, she didn't say anything as he led me out the door and to the car. He asked me what I wanted to do, and I said there was a movie playing at the Cineplex in the next town over that I really wanted to see. He looked at me quizzically, like it was a strange idea to drive 30 minutes just to see a movie, but he shrugged and started off. Of course, I had a reason for wanting a 30-minute drive. After the first few miles had passed, I leaned over and began to stroke his cock through his pants. He looked at me with wide eyes as I did, but he didn't protest. Then, when I lowered my face between his legs, he let out a soft moan. I looked up and said, "Now you keep your eyes on the road, baby," as I unbuckled and unzipped his pants. He obeyed and held the steering wheel tight. I pulled down his underwear and his cock sprang up in front of me. I saw that it was a little bigger than I thought it would be. No matter, I began to kiss and lick at it. I love the way a man's cock responds to my mouth. I kissed up and down the shaft, opening my mouth to take half of it from the side. I kissed my way down, big wet kisses, and then kissed my way up. Then I ran my tongue up and down the shaft, relishing the way it made him moan. Occasionally, he had to swiftly correct his steering. Finally, I lifted my head up, opened my mouth wide, and plunged down on him till my mouth reached his pubic hair and I could get no more inside. He groaned and bucked up at me. I began to rhythmically suck, moving up and down, up and down. I moved a hand forward and began to massage at his balls as I sucked. He said, "Oh my God, Marilyn, that's so fucking incredible." I sucked in long, smooth strokes, and each time I got high enough, I would flick at the end of his cock with my tongue before going down again all the way. I could feel him tensing, and I could tell he was enjoying it. I knew he wouldn't last much longer. He said, "Marilyn, you're gonna make me come. I'm gonna come. Take your mouth off." I thought it was funny that Marilyn wouldn't have let him come in her mouth, so I looked up at him and said, "Sweetie, from now on, you can come in my mouth any time you want." His eyes got a little amazed, but then I didn't see them because I was back on his cock. Finally, he got impossibly large in my mouth, and I could feel him spurting against the back of my throat. I could taste his cum. As it swirled in my mouth, I gulped it down, sucking on him furiously. Then I went all the way down one more time and sucked hard without moving. He groaned as the last drops of his semen came out. I moved upward, made a big show of licking off the tiny bit that had dribbled away, and then kissed the head of his cock tenderly. I then gently pulled his underwear back over it and zipped up his pants. I sat up just as the exit approached for the freeway that would bring us to the Cineplex. He looked at me in amazement. That was incredible. I smiled at him and said, "That, baby, is just the appetizer. You never let me come in your mouth before." I smiled brightly at him, thinking how difficult Marilyn's life was going to be. Well, from now on, baby, that's changed. He shook his head and grinned back at me. "You are some girl, honey." We didn't talk as we pulled up, but amazingly he got out and opened the door for me. Marilyn had complained that he wasn't the politest or most gentlemanly of dates, but he was perfectly polite as he took my hand and helped me to my feet. We got in, bought our tickets, and I told him I was going to freshen up in the bathroom. I went inside and splashed some water on my face. Then I dried off and reapplied my lipstick. By the time I got out, he had our tickets in hand, a big tub of popcorn and a soda. We sat and watched the movie, a decent flick, but nothing to write home about. But about halfway in, I reached for the popcorn and intentionally missed it. Instead, I let my hand rest on Corey's crotch. I began to stroke him through his jeans, and I continued during the entire movie.